All right, let's go ahead and get started. Your overall for the primary deck is Page of Cups reversed. So I see perhaps an offer being taken back or not given. I also see a job interview or some kind of audition, maybe an observation of some sorts, not going very well. Okay. Just losing some creativity, a loss of romanticism and playfulness. I also see Page of Cups as being losing a bit of your childhood, or losing a little bit of your innocence, perhaps. All right, your situation, 10 of Pentacles. Okay, so with 10 of Pentacles, this is your house, your family, could be inheritance. But what is your obstacle or an issue that's coming up your fate? When I see the Moon and 10 of Pentacles together, I see a surprise coming as far as family goes, or a steady relationship. So first, there's a group of you out there. Very, very soon, you're going to be pregnant. Okay, and it's a surprise, because Moon is surprise. For some of you who will not be pregnant, you discover your beau is cheating on you. Okay, there's some kind of a secret or delusion going on. Or maybe you think you're in this really happy, steady relationship and you find out it's otherwise. It may not be cheating, but it may be something else. Some of you are introducing a beau to your family, and this beau has been a secret. Some of you already have a kid, perhaps, and you have not introduced him to the family yet, and so you will be, and it'll be a secret. It'll be something that's coming to light, like the Moon. But no matter how it goes, it could end badly, because it is what's your obstacle. Here, the Sun is really eclipsing the Moon, because the Moon, you don't see as much of it as you do the Sun. So whatever problems you're going to have, this is almost like a rite of passage. You're going to have to come through these towers and go onto the mountain of stability. It's going to be an emotional journey, a little scary. You're probably afraid of this. But I see that whatever joy you get from this secret is going to be way better than any of the criticism you face. In fact, I also see some people might be coming out of the closet. Okay, because this is a very traditional family, you know, one man, one woman, and here we have secret and possibly coming out to family. Usually, I would assume it's a beau, but it could be as far as sexual orientation. Okay, but first of all, I see pregnancy, and then those other things. There's different groups of people. Hopefully, you're not doing all of those, because gee whiz, that'd be a lot. But coming back to just your situation by itself, that's the only major arcana you have, so it's dealing with dreams and surprises. Some of you could have been married and you think it's this really happy relationship, because this is very representative of 10 of Cups. And then you find a secret out, your bubble is burst. Some of you could get an inheritance and it takes you by surprise. Yeah, that's what I mainly see for those. All right, coming to advice or steps you can take to help with the obstacle. 3 of Wands reversed. It's very strange. So this says you may have an obstacle to your long-term goal. There will be some delays. The plans aren't really underway. So again, I see surprise. Okay, so we have 2 surprises here. That means there's definitely a surprise coming. And you have to consider, you know, the opportunities, okay? You have to consider them. But right now, it looks like the advice here for you is, yes, you have some overwhelming demands, that it's delayed and you're very pessimistic. Maybe you get cut off from family members based on something that you're revealing. And it says just embrace the change, okay? Yes, you're going to be struggling to put your plans to action, but these setbacks lead to setups. And you may be in this by yourself. You may be a single parent for some of you. And then again, you get cut off and you're very afraid that you're going to be exploited somehow or embarrassed and nobody is cooperating with you. Maybe you're afraid you're going to disappoint somebody. Some of you that have a surprise pregnancy, the moon card is about religion as well. So some of you may be afraid of disappointing. And here you're looking out into the future, looking at your opportunities, and you feel like you don't have any opportunities now. Okay. So this one is, start preparing, get plans underway. Yes, you're not prepared, but you can work on it. It could be that you need to drop a person. Sometimes, because it is advice, when I see the Three of Wands, this is Aries card. Not the main card for them, but it's ruled by Aries, which reminds me of the Emperor. Okay, so again, feeling a little out of control, somebody may be a little tyrannical, and it could be somebody of the Aries persuasion. And we also do have the Wands here. I could also see there may be 3 people. So again, there's the idea of 3, whether somebody's unfaithful or there's a baby coming and you're just not ready for any of it. You're not prepared. Your happy world has just been burst because it's such a big surprise. And with the moon and 3 of Wands, well, upright, bad habit, okay? With the 3 of Wands in reverse, this is telling me you drop the bad habit, whatever it might be. If you've been straight-laced and traditional and you fall off the bandwagon for something, drop the habit, okay? This could be drop a bad boy. You may have to drop somebody who got you pregnant because they're not happy about what happened and they're not going to help you, so you just have to kind of drop them. But your strength, which is very good, is the 6 of Swords. Okay, you've realized with this moon card that your bubble's been burst. And you're ready to accept reality for what it is and move on. You're accepting that your world was a delusion. Okay. That maybe you have to have new dreams. And you're ready to move on. And then sometimes this means right when you're about ready to move on from somebody, you drop them after like some surprises you're having, whether it's pregnancy or infidelity. Right when you're about to move on, they come back. Okay. Again, with this card and the moon, I see getting over a vice. So again, getting over some kind of bad habit. So we have 3 cards that talk about getting rid of a bad habit. It could also be a bad relationship, something that's toxic. And this, with the moon being religious in this card, it talks about putting your mistakes behind you and moving on spiritually and religiously, especially from a non-traditional past. So some of you may start forgiving yourself for things that you may have done that you weren't able to before, possibly because of a religious background. And you're just agreeing to put your fear behind you. Those rough waters, you've gone through them, you're done, you're coming to calm waters. And if you notice, right behind those calm waters are mountains. So you're coming to stability. Now it's just the foot of the mountains. You still got to climb up if you really want the stability and the wisdom. All right. Some other challenges you have. Page of Swords upright. With the moon card, this is a spy. Somebody's spying on you or you're spying on others. And then again, remember we have this interview or audition that's not going well. So perhaps your family doesn't accept this person you bring to invite, or they don't accept your baby, or they don't accept you because of this person or this baby. The baby which has not been born, probably. Either way, the baby's a surprise, whether it's for you or for your family. But one of your challenges is somebody could be spying and they dig up some information that you were withholding. And that could be your challenge. Maybe you were keeping something a secret, like a pregnancy or a relationship or marriage or even an inheritance. And somebody goes snooping and you're found out, whatever it might be. Also, I have really strong beliefs. Okay, so somebody, when I see this, I see somebody coming to you and saying, my way is the right way, and you cannot convince me otherwise. Okay, so you're going to have to deal with somebody like that. But then again, when I think of challenges, I think of what the cards are challenging you to do to help your situation. And it's for you to be resolute, to say, well, I feel I'm right, and I'm going to stand where I am, and if you don't back up, I'm going to cut your head off. Okay? And if you notice, there are a ton of birds up here. So this person has a lot of perspective, aerial perspective, not just ground perspective. And if you look at how huge he is, I mean, he looks like a giant compared to those trees way, way in the background. And it looks like he's standing on cliffs rather than just a piece of ground. So this guy is so tall, he looks like he's going to the clouds. Now, in reality, it's just that the perspective is off in the drawing. But if you look at that, he's standing tall. He's not ashamed. His head is not down, or her. It does look very feminine. So, not ashamed, holding head up high, wielding your sword. And with the sword up, I see victory. But just be careful of spying, okay? Now, for your Tarot Psychic Oracle deck, I did the bottom of the deck. You have 9 of Wands, and it's upright, and it says suffering in silence. So some of you may be suffering in silence with a sexual orientation, a pregnancy, or a breakup of a relationship from infidelity. I also see this as, once bitten, twice shy, because there's a head injury, and normally he has 9 wands around him, and you're afraid of what's lurking out there. But this is also the card as advice. This is the card that says, never give up, never surrender. Okay? All right, let's get some clarification on this Page of Swords, exactly what it might be. Ace of Wands, passion ignited. Yeah, let me think about that. Well, the Page of Swords, this is go with your gut, and your passion's going to ignite. You're going to have some communication, but don't reveal too much too soon. Okay, so keep that secret that you need. Don't reveal it too soon. Wait it out. Remember, you just have to be patient. This is the Ace of Swords. I apologize, not the Ace of Wands. It's a new deck, so I'm learning it. Well, the ways I get wands are this indigo color and this violet, so it's different. It has to be swords because they're thoughts. So Ace of Swords and Page of Swords. I see a very, very strong opinion. Very strong, especially with the Ace of Swords next to the Page of Swords. Ooh, lordy. Somebody has a very strong opinion, so keep some information to yourself, be persistent and patient. Let's see what else we have for you for the Page of Swords. Oh, okay, Major Arcana 18. Shadow card, which one is that? Not the Star. Shadow. Oh, it's the Moon card. So we have the Moon card twice. My goodness, you guys, you got the same Major Arcana twice. And it's clarifying this Page of Swords. So whatever the strong opinion is about, it's about whatever the Moon card secret is. And incorporating some of the shadow side into yourself. Wow, you guys, that's crazy. I mean, that almost never happens. You know, the moon is ruled by Neptune, and that's the planet of surprises. And you're really just trying to leap into something deeper. Could also be a secret love, but the secret love is dangerous, especially when I see a spy, so be very careful. Especially with Ace of Swords, this is triumphant, but it's a happy triumph, and it's not forced. But the passion is ignited with somebody. And again, we have like this passion is eclipsing whatever downside there is. And then with the Ace of Swords and the Moon card, we have a new start, victory, after cutting through some kind of conspiracy. Okay. So you are the Page of Swords, and you're cutting through a conspiracy of some sort, and you're gonna have a victory. Okay, so don't be afraid. It's all gonna be good. Especially since the moon's over here, and it's also clarifying over there too. All right, let's clarify the Three of Wands as advice. Ooh, the Chariot, Major Arcana. Okay, let me think about that. Chariot and the Three of Wands. I never really think of those as going together. We know this is dropping bad habits or dropping a bad person. So with the Chariot, again, I see triumph. You're triumphing all over the place. And your bad habit, which I've seen in a few places, it may be that you're having to integrate something negative into who you are. Okay, it could be an untraditional past. Sometimes you may have a beau who has a bad past. And so you don't want to introduce him to your family because you're like, okay, this guy's been in jail. But he's a completely different person now. So as long as they really have truly become a different person, it's best to drop a bad habit. But sometimes they really have changed. And in that case, you will triumph. But you may have to reveal a little bit at a time and watch out for spies. But I really do see pregnancy with these two. So you're going to be very triumphant. But you're going to have some obstacles, then make progress, hit some obstacles, and then have a triumph. But eventually everybody's going to come around. And you're going to be in charge. You're going to use willpower for sure to drop this bad habit and to start planning ahead for something that caught you by surprise. And you're going to take charge of your destiny, but you're not going to be arrogant about it. So this is saying have some poise and tact, okay? All right. Now your outcome, or potential outcome, depending on what you do, is the Queen of Pentacles. And she showed up for an outcome for Pisces. Okay, so some of you may have Pisces in your chart. But with the Queen of Pentacles, I see security. Okay, so in a lot of this, you're not very secure. Maybe you had security, you think you're going to lose it, you have to drop something, you move on, you realize, you can do better, you persevere, you get a brand new start, especially with strong opinions, and you become secure and liberated. You enjoy your wealth in your life, but you're really down to earth. You welcome in people who are struggling, and you get a long-term relationship. This is a very generous person. And if you did have somebody who was keeping secrets from you, at the end you learn, well, I'm going to start screening people. Because this is my card where I need to screen people. Okay, and you screen people more shrewdly. Also, if you see the way she's holding the pentacle, it's like she's holding a baby. So some of you, you're getting something very valuable when you're getting a child. And you may be single because Queen of Pentacles is all by herself. Now, she could be married because she does represent long-term relationships, but I don't see a male court card in here, okay? So that may not be the case. I mean, if for some reason, we have Page of Swords, and then we had that Page of Cups, okay? So it could be somebody who's younger than you, but we have two young children. So maybe you're pregnant with twins. But one's upright and one's reversed. I'm trying to think, is there anything? We have two pages. Well, I think as this is your overall, this is just saying you or someone you're going to be in a relationship with, whether as a mother, or father, or boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, partner, somebody's going to need a lot of love. Okay? And it could be due to some issues with this secret or with family. But there is a strong opinion about something, and you may be fighting with family members or anybody over religious aspects. Okay. Okay, let's clarify this. Oh, hang on. Yeah, wrong side. Let's clarify this Queen of Pentacles. Ooh, okay. You could possibly get married or join a union. Two of Cups. Okay. So when I was saying that she may be a single mother, it looks like you would not be a single mother. Could be you get in a relationship with somebody who's unfaithful, you drop them, you're triumphant, you move on, you watch out for spies, and you have a new beginning because you persevered and were patient. Even though you had a strong opinion, you were standing your ground, and bam, you end up very secure, you assess your next person more shrewdly, and you end up with a great union, possibly even marriage. I like it. And just, look at that card. They are so in love. They are gazing in each other's eyes. It's beautiful. All right, let's see if there's anything else. Let's clarify the moon. What could one of these secrets be? I've given you the options, but let's see. Ooh, 5 of Swords. So we have a haughty defeat. I wasn't really expecting that to show up, so let me think for a second. 5 of Swords is harassment. Okay. So you may have a bad person showing up, somebody's stalking in secret, and you're being harassed. That could be a secret. And you're going to drop one. You're going to be very triumphant. You're going to move on. Maybe you physically move to get away from a stalker. That's crazy. We do have suffering in silence. Maybe you're not telling anybody about this person. But you're going to have a new start. You're going to be very victorious. You're going to be secure. Yeah. Maybe somebody did have a really bad past and they didn't change. And they started stalking you. Especially if you let them go and then they start stalking you. So just be very careful in the near future. Let's see, what's the other option for the moon card? Wow, another major arcana, the Wheel of Fortune. Okay, and it's upright. So you're going to have an unexpected turn of events. So there's your pregnancy, and it's good luck. Could be also finding your soulmate. Wow, you just raked it in. So with 2 of Cups, it says, a friendship might turn romantic. I like it. Queen of Pentacles, you might get your dream home and get married. You get married and you end up with the house that you've always wanted. And that includes like family and stuff. So, and it's funny that this is right on top of that. This is the traditional family. So some of you might be getting married into a traditional family. And again, it's so funny with the moon card, 2 moon cards, and the Wheel of Fortune. You're coming through a rite of passage. So definitely this is something like a major life event. Pregnancy, marriage.